y'all, back again. Just had to take care of some business real quick, and here we go. Get started here in a minute. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Once again, it was the 4th of July. I ain't doing too much on this 4th. I mean, it's my day off, so I'm just kind of chilling. So I just had to run a couple errands today and take care of some stuff a minute ago, but I'm good now. So we back again, man, to talk about some let's talk about some events going on in WMMA and whatever else. You know, doesn't have to be just WMMA, whatever, you know, MMA, boxing, anything in combat sports. But, you know, I got some stuff I want to talk about today specifically. You know, I just want to talk about call out energy, you know, call out energy in general, you know, and I put these 3 fighters up specifically just because, you know, they have a goal. You know, I'm sure a lot of fighters have goals, but they're 2 fighters that are letting you know what they want, when they want it, and who they want. You know, I think that's a major key to not only building your fan base, you know, which I'll get into a little bit more, but I think, you know, it's a major part of just showing us what type of fighter you are, you know, the real deal, or you just there. You know, we don't get that. You don't get too many fighters like that. And that's why it's like surprising to a lot of people. You know, a lot of people tend to start doing videos talking about it because it's like whenever a fighter calls somebody out now, it's almost like, wow, I ain't think it was in him. It's almost like a unicorn. You know what I mean? You ain't seen it before. And I think it's a part of every generation. You know, it just kind of changes. You know, I think the more and more, which I'll get more into as well. You know, I think people get so sensitive now. You know, so many people just think that you're trying to be a bully, which is crazy. I mean, it's the fight game. I mean, there's a difference between fighting words and being a bully. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like even today with the, well, not today, but you know what I mean? Like over the past few weeks, you know, the media, boxing media has kind of been going back and forth on 2 sides about Deontay Wilder and the Chris Colbert thing. Like, I don't really disagree with I disagree. I don't agree with what Chris Colbert said as far as, you know, describing Wilder and Errol Spence. But, I mean, you can't really take down what he says. Like, you know, that's just a part of what he's going to say. And to me, that's what he said. That's on his mind. I mean, you can't change the person. You can't change the person. And I mean, I'd rather hear them say that just to know just so I know where they're coming from. You know, I want to know where they're coming from and what they think. That lets us know a little bit more about that person. So I can't really judge a person about what they say, especially in the world of boxing. You know, if a boxer is unfiltered or a fighter is unfiltered, then that's just a part of their persona. You know, it builds more to what type of character they are in the game, you know. And I think we do need to see more fighters, not like that just say crazy talk, like call people names and get emotional. But I think we need more fighters just to make simple call outs. You know, Marcus Bell, what's up? He said Cynthia had the best call out other than Jullianna Pena. Yeah, it was a good call out, man. It was a good call out. You know, I respected that Pena called her out. You know, Amanda Nunes. You know, a lot of people feel like she didn't deserve the title shot, but I say, hey, who else is screaming for it? You know, who else is calling for it like that? You know, so yeah, between them 2, and I threw Amanda Ribas on there too because again, she's saying some things that other fighters need to take example from. You know, they got to learn from. So yeah, man, that's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about some call outs here today and why it's important, man. Well, again, I say call outs are important, but number one is because it's going to let us know, the fans, know what you're fighting for. We got to know what your goal is. Not even us, but the fighter, your team, your trainers. You want to know, like, what are we training for? Like, are you going for the goal, or you just want to be a fighter? Like, you just want to be a career fighter your whole life, or are you trying to go for the strap? Like, what do you want to do with your contract here, And I think those call outs tend to help give everybody a clear direction on what they need or what they want. For example, let's go ahead and let's start with Jullianna Pena, since she's got a title fight. She's like the number one out of all three of these fighters. Let's see here. Jullianna Pena, I just want to pull up some of her stuff. I want to go back to how she was, making the call out, and how she was kind of getting under Amanda Nunes' skin a little bit. Amanda Nunes actually responded. I actually had that too. I want to look off of that too, man. Hold on. Yeah, because they fight next month, August 7th. And you really have to say that Jullianna Pena did a good job of talking her way into a title shot. Jullianna Pena, let's see. I want to pull up her ranking too here. What is she like? She's like number 6 or number 7, right? I want to double check here as we talk about this. Hold on. Let's see here. Because as y'all know, Amanda Nunes, she was pretty much dominating, fluctuating between different weights. She would go back and forth, bantamweight, beating whatever featherweights were out there. And she needed somebody that was going to bring something to the table. And I know I talked about the percentage level that Jullianna Pena has, but I'm going to go back and watch some more fights just to see what are Jullianna Pena's really, her real chances going into a fight with Amanda Nunes. But you look at Jullianna Pena, she's number 6. Okay, I was right. Yeah, she's number 6 right now. A lot of people argue and say she doesn't deserve the title shot, but again, who else is screaming out for the title? Who else really, really deserves it right now? I mean, GDR has already been beaten by Amanda twice. Holly's, got starched in 1 round. Aspen Ladd, she's a fighter that I can't really say should even be number 3 right now with inactivity. Even before that, after losing the GDR, it seemed like she should have dropped a little bit further. So GDR with that knockout win over Aspen Ladd really kind of takes away Aspen Ladd's threat as even number 3 fighter. Then Irene and Yana Kunitskaya. Irene lost to Holly Holm. Yana Kunitskaya, she just beat Ketlin Vieira. So that kind of leaves Jullianna Pena. I mean, sometimes you're going to have to fight down the rankings. But if nobody's calling for that title shot, and then you have somebody step it up, even in number 6 or number 7, I think they deserve their shot. Jullianna Pena just made things a little bit more interesting by being vocal. Because let's say even in the flyweight division, you have some career flyweights there that have been in the division for a minute, and they still don't want to call Valentina out. Like, they've been in good positions before where they could call for the title shot. Like, they had it all. They had the resume. They had the legit wins. They had, they had a good ranking. All they had to do was call out Valentina, and they probably would have got the fight, But they don't do that. They choose not to. Jullianna Pena, on the other hand, she holds a good standing. She's in the top 10. I know she lost to GDR, but she bounced back. She wants to fight. She made it known that, look, I want to fight. So why not give it to her? I mean, let me see here. I just want to go back to some of the things that she said, because she just made it interesting by calling her out and making people say, oh, maybe this girl does have something. Like, maybe she can get into the head of Nunes. Hold on. Yeah, because we talked about this way back in April when she was first calling for the title shot. But since then, Amanda Nunes kind of tried to retaliate, I think, last month. And she tried to come back with some things. She tried to come back with some words like it's really getting under her skin. Hold on here. Let's see. While I'm letting that come up, stuff's running slow. These websites be running slow. Everything else is coming up fast, but hold on, what y'all talking about? All right, so Robot Chicken, what's up? He said Pena won't win though. GDR put her to sleep. No chance against Nunes. Right. Styles make fights though. You never know. I think it'll be a different approach. Robert Henry said Jullianna Pena needs to keep the pressure on Nunes without getting reckless with it. If she can avoid any heavy damage, last in the fight, maybe she may be about to take Nunes in deep waters. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Robot Chicken said, how many punches do you think she can take? How many punches can Pena take from Nunes? Nunes' right hand is monster, man. Even her left, the way she follows up with the left. I'd say maybe 2-3 good clean shots. You don't want to take any more of that. I'd say maybe a 2-3 good clean shots from Nunes, and that's about it. So perhaps she could put Nunes on her back, start to wear on her. Yeah, but I think that Nunes will be ready for whatever on her back. I think she'll still be ready for that. Yeah, here it is. Look. All right, let's look at what Nunes said. This was last month. I remember saving this. I never got back to talking about it though. I was gonna do a video on this, but it's good to call somebody out. Let me just put it. It's good to call somebody out, call them out by their name. Tag them, because when you put that person front and center, it will kind of do something to them. It will do something to them mentally. Like, I'm not saying Nunes is shook by this call out, but it's got her talking back. It's making it interesting. And once the champion acknowledges your call out, then Nunes's followers start to find out who Jullianna Pena is. So it's another plus for her. It's a buildup. It's gonna be a buildup now. Like, Jullianna Pena said, okay, I got to get known. I got to put my name on the map. How do I do that? Call her out by her name. So many fighters don't do that. See, Pena calls her out. Nunes acknowledges it because she says the right things. Now everybody's got their eyes on Pena. Whether you think she's going to win or not, she calling her out. Evelyn Barrios said, when do they fight? August 7th. Pena and Nunes fight August 7th. That first Saturday of the month, right? That is the first Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, they fight August 7th, huh? So yeah, she bounced back. She called that bluff. Nunes said, look, let's make it happen. Nunes said, look, I'm not impressed. 2 strikers submitted her. Wow. All right, let me pull this up from MMA Junkie. She said this, look, all my opponents is the same thing. Since I get this belt, they say the same thing. None of them has been able to stop me. She's going to be the next. She's not going to stop me with the wrestling. I promise her that. We're going to do interview again. What did she say? She's not stopping. Okay, she said she's not stopping me. I'll defend. I'll take her down. I'll finish her on the floor. She's good with her wrestling, but she has a lot of holes. The girls that I finished submit her. Wow. I don't know if y'all saw that, right? Or heard that interview. Amanda Nunes said, the girls that I finished submit her. Valentina Shevchenko and GDR. 2 strikers submitted her. So she has a lot of holes in her game. I'll do the same. And before everybody started saying, she didn't finish Valentina, she just saying the girls that she beat has submit Pena, which makes sense, right? Like, yeah, she didn't stop Valentina, but she beat her twice. So she holds 4 wins over those fighters that submitted her. So she's bouncing back. See, now she's trying to keep the champ on her toes. So Pena's, trying to get under that skin. And that's why I say you got to call somebody out, because it makes everything so much more interesting. Let's be real. We like this type of talk. Like, I like to watch what happens in the octagon or in the ring, but I need to hear something every now and then, especially from fighters that want to prove themselves. You know what I mean? Like, especially when a division, I don't know about y'all, but when a division is just quiet and almost barren, it's like you need some talk. You need that type of talk. I just get tired of fighters trying to, just kind of play it too cool. Stomach's over here. I'm getting a little hungry already. My stomach is just like, I'm getting hungry, y'all. But I just get tired of it whenever fighters just play cool, because it makes them just seem too, like, what's the word, docile. I want to hear some fighting words every now and then. Like I said, you don't have to be a bully, but just let us know that, look, I want to go for this belt. Like I said, the flyweight division, your top 10. I mean, Valentina's already defended her belt 5-6 times now, but the one fighters, the contenders that she haven't fought them for that one reason. They haven't called her out. Joanne Calderwood was never really straightforward on the call out to Valentina Shevchenko. Some people say, I don't want to be that fighter to call somebody out, but I'm like, why not? I mean, that's what this game is, man. It's like playing a fighting game. Like, once you beat whoever you beat in Street Fighter, you beat one guy, you have to go on to the next. You have to say, this is the next person I want, and that's a game. It's the same thing with this. Like, 10 people in the ranking. Let's push out the 11 to 15. But let's look at the top 10. That's where everybody looks at mostly. So we got the top 10. It's the same thing as your player selection in Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. You know what I mean? You got to beat a certain amount of fighters, or in those games you got to beat them all before you get to the boss. So it's like, why can't you do the same thing? Like, go ahead and put out your blueprint, take on these fighters. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Like, come on, like, Ryu, got to beat Ken, got to beat Blanca, you got to beat Zangief, Chun-Li, until you get to M. Bison. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing, man. So I'm just getting tired of it whenever fighters say, I don't want to call this person out by name. Like, I want to offend them, or I don't want to seem like a bully. But you're not. Like, that person has something you want. They got a higher rank than you, or this person has the belt. You want to take that belt. You want to take that belt to be champion so you can get more money. That's what you fight for, right? And that's why a lot of fighters complain about not getting money, because they don't put themselves out there enough as fighters. Like I said, like, you don't have to, shuck and jive or put your soul out there or anything like that. But I'm saying, you're in the entertainment business, so you need to entertain. It's the fight game, so you need to fight. You want to be champion, so you need to be fighting the best fighters out there. Yeah, that reminds me. I don't know why I didn't say Killer Instinct. That's where I got my namesake from, right? Combo Breaker. I should have said, Killer Instinct. It's like Killer Instinct. Same deal. That's what I should have said. Yeah, Killer Instinct. What y'all talking about? Oh yeah, give me some of them combos or something, man. Give me some Fritos or something, man. Yeah, Robot Chickens. Andrade is Zangief right now. She will pile driver you like Zangief. I don't know. She's like Zangief, but she's built like Blanca. She's kind of low to the ground, and she's got that hunch down to her. She's that little monster. But this is why, Pena's getting her title shot. Like I said, a lot of people were saying, why is she getting the title shot? Well, you know why? It's not just about the resume. That's what it's kind of been proven with Dana White, right? It's not about your winning streak. Like, why is Lauren Murphy not getting it? Why is Pena getting a title shot? You know why? Because she opened her mouth. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Pena has been around for a while. This fight is kind of long overdue. I've been wanting to see Pena take on home. There's been some fighters I've been wanting to see her fight. She's had some ups and downs, but now that this fight is going down, I'm cool with it. Nunes has already faced a lot of the other contenders, like I said, and Pena made it known that she wanted it. So that's how it works with me. Like, if you call somebody out, like if somebody says, hey, who wants to fight the champion? If you ask everybody in the lineup and you ask each and every fighter at the same time, who wants to fight the champion? And one person steps up and says, oh, I do. You give that person credit because they stepped up and they took the challenge. That's kind of what it's looking like on this lineup right now. And not only did she say, I want to take him on, but she gave you reasons. You know, she started saying, oh, man, I can beat Amanda Nunes. You know, Amanda Nunes, I can take her down. She's not that good. I got the style to beat her. I can finish her, you know. And that ruffles Amanda Nunes' feathers. You know, now Amanda Nunes coming back saying, oh, I'll finish her. You know, you got finished by 2 strikers. You know, you got submitted by Shevchenko and GDR. And that's the type of talk that I like to hear. You know, not a bunch of BS and emotional talk. You know, no name calling and all of that. But just stuff like this. Like, when we start talking about skills and putting our skills up, put your skills up. That's the stuff I like to hear. All right. Yeah, send me something. I'm hungry, yo. Robot make the chicken wings, I guess so. Bungalow said not very many girls are clamoring to fight Nunes. Can't really blame them. See, that's the thing. Like, that's the same thing people would say about Valentina. Like, nobody calling her out, but you can't blame them. But that's what you're there for. You know what I mean? Like, win or lose, that's what you're there for. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather you call her out and fight her. And hey, if you lose, I'll give you credit. I'll give you more credit than I will for you not calling her out. You know, like, I have to give Jessica more credit than some of these fighters not taking her on. You know, I got to give her more credit because she talked a big game, went in there, she faced the music. She took on Valentina Shevchenko, got knocked out in the 2nd round, but she did it. You know, she called her out. She wanted to fight. So Jessica I gets credit for that. More so than the other fighters saying, oh, I don't want to call the champion out like that. You know, I don't want to call her out like that. That's not my style. It's not really about being your style, man. It's just about getting, you know, just fighting up the rankings and getting what you should feel like you deserve. But apparently, you don't know what you deserve. You don't know where you're supposed to be. That's where it stands with some of these fighters. They don't really know what they want besides the uniform and just the ranking. And that's why there's levels. That's why Valentina is as good as she is, and that's why she continues to defend the belt, because she'll face anybody that wants it. And she made it known that, look, I don't fight just to fight. I fight to win. You know, there's a big difference, man. Yeah, so Jullianna Pena made a good argument to get her fight. You know, whether she can go in there and do everything she said, I don't know, which we'll talk about down the line, you know, as we get closer in a few weeks. But let me see here. Yeah, Jullianna Pena, she'll go in too, man. She goes in, you know, she'll defend her argument whether you like it or not. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, here's what she said. Like, here's one of her first interviews that I've really looked and kind of broke down what she said, because I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of respect where she's coming from now. I respect this. Hold on. All right, so Jullianna Pena had said, look, a lot of people say, well, she got the title fight from talking ish. I'm like, no, I didn't get the title shot from talking ish. I'm speaking my truth. I'm telling you what happened. I was 7-0 when Nunes didn't want to fight me. You beat Miesha Tate that night at UFC 200, and I beat Kat Zingano. You freaking literally made... okay, here she go. And I beat Kat Zingano, who freaking literally made you curl up in the fetal position, and the ref had to pull you off. You quit. I didn't quit. I beat her, and she stomped a mud hole in you. So I agree with what she's doing there. She's trying to get under the skin, right? She's trying to ruffle her feathers, but the Kat Zingano win, that's like a thing of the past. The Kat Zingano loss for Nunes is a thing of the past as well. You know, you can't really argue that anymore. Nunes has gotten better since then. But when you go back, she can bring up some history there. She's like, look, I was 7-0 when you didn't want to fight me. That's the first thing that kind of triggered Nunes. You know, she's trying to really get under her skin there. And she says, look, she didn't get the title shot from talking this. You know, she's been vocal. I'll say that. Being vocal got her the title shot. It's definitely gotten her the title shot. Because she's bringing up past history. Like I said, these two got history where they should have been fighting, you know, a few years back. That's funny, though. She said, you beat Miesha Tate and I beat Kat, who made you curl up. Damn. Yeah, she was going in here. Then she said this. Okay, so it's like, I'm not trying to talk ish. I'm just saying facts of what I saw and what I've done in my experience. I came back from a knee injury, came back from having a baby, still been able to win at the highest level. I've dropped fights to Valentina and Jermaine. But with that being said, you were struggling with those girls when you fought them. I was dominating both of them before I myself got caught for being a freaking dumbass. All right, what do y'all think about that, though? What do y'all think about that part? I mean, a win is a win for me. You know what I mean? Like, not even trying to defend Nunes, but I mean, Nunes did beat Jermaine 2 times. She stopped her once, and then she just dominated her. And Valentina, of course, you know, that's just the best fighting the best. You can't really go in there and just mop the floor with Valentina, and Valentina can't mop the floor with Nunes. Then Pena said she was dominating both. Watching that fight with Pena in the first round, she was doing good. She was doing well with Valentina, but Valentina figured it out quick. You know, Valentina figured it out quick. She figured it out. Okay, this is all you're going to do is throw knees. I'm going to take you down. You know, so her recklessness did cost her that fight. You know, that recklessness cost her that both of those fights. Like she said, it was being a freaking dumbass. You know, I'm not calling her that. She said it. Yeah, she was being a dumbass. I mean, we can call her a dumbass too. Then she wants to be that, right? All right. Which I was saying that whenever she got submitted by Valentina, because I was like, oh my goodness, so what are you doing? Like, you just telegraphing the knees over and over. So Valentina is going to take you down eventually. She's not going to let you knee her to death like that. You know, you got to switch the game up. And then the fight with GDR, you know, diving right into a guillotine, you know, which a fight she was winning. You know, you could argue she was winning. She was doing well on her feet. Yeah, she gave it up, but that's where they kind of separate there. Like, if you go back and just look at the fights and the stories with Nunes and Pena, that's what kind of separates them. But everything that Pena is saying, that's my argument. She's talking good. All right, this is good talk. This is good game she's spitting, because it's making you want to see the fight now even more. Like me, with what Pena is saying and the argument she's trying to stand on makes me want to see the fight. That's why I was like, yeah, Pena deserves his title shot now, because, you know, it is a long time coming, and she needs a new look in there. Nunes needs a new look. Yeah, Robot Chicken. Valentina subbed her, and she's the grappler. Both of them. Like, Pena was the grappler in both fights with GDR, and GDR submitted her. First submission win. Like, GDR's first submission win was against a high-level grappler. You know, that's big for her. Bungalow said Valentina has beaten many of at their own game. Right. Robot Chicken said Amanda would have destroyed Pena the same night she beat Tate. Dang. Jessica at least tried, but the result was becoming part of every highlight reel ever produced. If nothing else, she'll always have that. Robot Chicken said Valentina will lose to GDR. I'm calling it now. Still a fight I want to see, man. That's a good fight. That's a great fight. I mean, I don't want to hear size difference or anything like that. They both fought at 135. That's a good fight. All right, yeah. Let's go back to this. Robert Henry brought up a point here. I guess he was talking to Marcus. No. Okay. Lauren Murphy gets no credit. Every time she opens her mouth about a title shot, all her cards are declined. Okay, going back to her, yeah, like, people will argue that, or they won't even argue. They'll just say Lauren Murphy deserves a title shot, and they'll wonder why she hasn't got it. But why does Jullianna Pena get it? Because Jullianna Pena, though her resume is not, at this point, is not as sturdy as Lauren Murphy. You know, she hasn't gone on a 4 to 5 fight winning streak, even like Carla Esparza. Jullianna Pena brought up some history there. You know what I mean? Like, she brought up some history, and she does have some points there. You know, she brought up some little points that she could make an argument to make people want to say, all right, get her in the octagon with Nunes so Nunes can shut her up. You know what I mean? That's kind of where her argument becomes solid. Doesn't make sense, I know, to some people, but it's a business. It's an entertainment business. Whereas Lauren Murphy, yeah, as a hardcore fan, something you really analyze, you can say 5 fights earns you a title shot, which I agree with that. But she's not coming with the same heat. You know, she ain't coming with the same energy like Jullianna's doing. I think, you know, that's why it's like always something that kind of push off. Like Dana White's, you know, he's being very skeptic about it. You know, he's like, I don't even know if Lauren Murphy's going to be next, because I have to say the game ain't there. You know, the talk game ain't there. You know, the mic skills it's not there like Jullianna Pena. See, Jullianna Pena talk it up to the point, whether or not you've seen the resume, the fans will want that fight. They'll say 2 things. They'll say Nunes shut Jullianna Pena up, or they'll say maybe Pena has a chance. You know? But see, with Lauren Murphy kind of riding under the radar, which, yeah, some people are going to be laid back, but you've been doing this now for a while. You've 5 fights in. Like, why not just say, yo, Valentina, tell Dana that you really want to fight me next? You know? Why is this not like part of their game plan? Like, yo, Valentina, like, let's do it before the end of 2021. Like, let's make it happen. Especially when Lauren Murphy says, you know, she's one of the best fighters in MMA, period. You know, men and women. You know, make these arguments. You know, say, yo, Bullet, yo, let's make it happen. So, yeah, that's why I say, like, the call-out thing is a big part of the game, man. Like, it's a big part of what you can get. You know, I think Dana White, Mick Maynard and so on, they respect the call-outs, man. They acknowledge the call-outs. You know, I think when you ask, you receive. You know, just like it say, you know, asking, you shall receive. Robert Henry said, I love the trash talk from Pena, even though I know she's stretching the sauce of her talk a little thin. I still want to see her fight, though. Right, she stretched it, man. She's stretching it, Robert, but it's like, it's good stuff. Like, I hear so many people say some different things, like, you know, I can knock this person out in boxing, I can do this and do that. I know they can't do it sometimes, but it's all in fun. I mean, Jullianna Pena, she probably does have, you know, she probably can get under the skin and have more of a chance than I think, you know. But yeah, that's why I said, like, it's very important that you start talking. You know, you start getting on the mic and just saying a few words. Like, nobody's saying you got to be brash and loud, but just say a name. Like, you know, even if you got a soft voice, you know, you quiet, just say a name. You say a name, then people will start matching you up. You know, which, let's jump to Cynthia Calvillo. You know, she's second place in this call out thing, right? Let's talk about her. You know, Cynthia Calvillo, her, Jessica Andrade, they were the first Invicta card for Access TV, you know, last month, or back in May, back in May. And something told me too, I was like, oh snap. I was like, Cynthia Calvillo, she's cornering the fighter, and Jessica Andrade is cornering fighter. I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like backstage. Like, it's something I like to see. Like, you know, whenever fighters are not even fighting, that's something I always think of, and I like to just kind of feel that energy. Like, Cynthia's going to be backstage. She'll be back, you know, back in the back with her fighter. Jessica's going to be backstage with her fighter. I was like, yeah, man, like, what's going on? Then next thing you know, Calvillo, she posted this picture on her IG with her and Jessica Andrade, right? And that's why I'm saying, like, that call out to me almost tops Pena, because that's like above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, you put the fighter that you want on your social media and let everybody know, look, I want to fight this person. it's not just calling the person out. It's almost like back in the day when a fighter would go to that person's gym and kind of mess with them. Fighter goes to the gym and you go to their gym and you start calling them out. That's stuff they used to do back in the day. And this was like that next best thing because, Calvillo said, look, let's do this picture. Let's do this face off. And then she tags Dana White, McMaynard, and she calls it, comeback season in September. Right. And then Jessica Andrade acknowledges that. She's like, yo, let's make this happen. So I like that energy. That's just something that I think a lot more fighters need to kind of follow. Like, it was a friendly call out too. Like, it didn't even have to be like Pena Nunes, right? It didn't even have to be to that extent where you just say, I can beat you, you suck, and all of this. She basically just said, look, let's fight. And Jessica Andrade didn't come back with fighting words. She said, let's get it. She's like, let's get it. And they're making the fight happen now. This one's happening in September, right? Let me get the date down here. Just in case y'all don't know when they are fighting. I like to pull these dates up, y'all. So hang on here. Yeah, September 25th. Still got a little ways from it, but that's good game right there. Cynthia Calvillo said, look, I'm coming off a loss. Andrade's coming off a loss. This is the perfect fight. She went on a podcast and she talked about it. She gave, good reasons. She never really danced around the name either. She said, look, let's just make the fight happen. Let's fight. Something that's a problem in boxing today. Boxing is so political now. It's so many different avenues for fighters to escape. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many arguments they can make and say, he's with Top Rank, I'm with PBC, we can't fight. He's with DAZN or Matchroom Boxing, he's with Eddie Hearn, so we can't fight. There's a lot of BS like that. But deep down, some of those fights can be made too. I know that too, man. Deep down, if you really want it, you'll get it. Of course, with these fighters, of course, in the same organization, but people still avoid fighters, They still avoid each other sometimes. But this one here was just a good example of what even better fighters on higher levels can do. Bungalow said the mental game is a big part of it. Connor's trash talk. Oh, yeah, that's classic, man. Like, I ain't a big Connor fan, but, Connor's trash talk really threw him off his game, touching his belt, holding his belt over his head, always like popping up behind him. That's why the fight didn't get past the first minute. He did the same to Dustin in that first fight. Yeah. Robert Henry said the difference between Lauren and Pena is that Pena shows no stress or fear when she speaks out about who she wants to fight. She makes you believe that she believes she will win. Right. And that's why people want to see it. Whenever she believes it that much, it's like we're saying to ourselves, well, damn, maybe she does have a chance. Maybe I need to see her fight. Versus, say a fighter on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak. If they don't talk and they don't sound confident, then we're probably thinking that they can't do it. Right? We're probably thinking that they can't do it. But if you talk a good game, okay, sometimes people will say, oh, you just a big mouth. You just being a big mouth, man. But if you just have that skill, that verbal skill to know what to say, when to say, and how to trigger that person, then people will want to see that fight. Like I said, they'll either want to see you get your behind whooped or they'll want to see if you really can beat the champion. Right? Stamina, what's going on? He said notifications races again, so only just made it. Hey, I know they do that, man. Bungalow said Lauren might say that she wants Valentina, but I don't think that she really wants Valentina. Yeah. Hold on. Robot Chicken said Ebos call out is good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about hers too. Yeah, her call out was interesting. Like I said, like as far as the matchup, people gonna be on either side of it, but I thought her call out was good. Robot Chicken says Cynthia ain't ish. Dang, man. He said, and she ain't ish, man. Come on, man. I mean, you got to respect how she's saying, how she doing what she doing. She got to fight. You know, she got to fight right now. But whoever, you know, who you got winning this fight between Andrade and Calvillo, that's a different story. But as far as getting what you want and winning, I mean, first step is complete. She got the fight she wanted, and I respect her for that. You know, I respect anybody who says, look, this is what I want. Like I said, what's going to happen is a totally different thing. Yeah. So with that, let's talk about Ribas a little bit, man. Yeah, because hers was interesting. You know, y'all know I just put a video out talking about this one because I just kind of found it funny because, again, you know, hers, Amanda Ribas, her call out just kind of falls into that civil, that civil category. You know what I mean? It's like that category where it's just like, hey, how you doing? Almost like, you know, they two singers or something, you know, and they trying to collab one day. She was just like, yo, hey, how are you? Maybe we should do this. Everybody else is booked. Let's go ahead and make our date. You know what I mean? Like, that's what made hers kind of funny. Let me pull the Twitter up right here. Well, y'all saw the video, but well, some of y'all saw the video I did, but I want to pull up her Twitter right now. Yeah, let's look at Ribas again here. Like I said, her call out, very civil, very nice, kind of like fitting her personality. I know, shout out to Two Beast. Two Beast likes Amanda Ribas' personality. He feels like she has one of the best personalities in the UFC. All right, so yeah, Ribas said this on Twitter a few weeks ago. She said, hey, Yan Jianan, how are you? You know, she tagged her in it, like, you know, just a friend saying, hey, Yan, how are you? I was thinking almost all fighters in our weight division have a scheduled fight. How about schedule ours? I think it would be a great fight. And she put the little heart, you know, the little heart eyes, smiley faces, little smiley faces with heart eyes. And then she tagged the UFC, tagged Dana White, tagged McMahon, tagged Alexis Davis for whatever reason, right? Is Alexis Davis like her training partner, or is Alexis Davis like a matchmaker now? Is Alexis Davis a matchmaker? I don't know. Like, is that why she tagged her? Or is she just tagged her because she's like a friend? Am I missing something there? Is Alexis Davis a matchmaker? She tagged her in it. I don't know. Maybe she just tagged her in it. Training partner. Maybe she's a training partner. Anyways, she tagged ESPN and so on. You know, so that's a good call out. I mean, breaking the call out down, like, there's levels to it. Like I said, I'm not trying to, well, I am. I'm being a nerd about it. You know, I just want to break it down to you because the number one thing she did, like Cynthia Calvillo did, was, you know, she put the person's name in there. You know, there's a format y'all gotta follow. I gotta be an instructor to this for up and coming fighters. Like, if you want to fight, call out a person like this. So you go on your Twitter, you tag that person, you ask them nicely, as Ribas did, right? Tag that person, then you tag the company that you work for, then you tag your boss, then you tag the matchmaker, right? You make sure they're all tagged, so this will get everybody thinking. This will put everybody on the same page. And then you tag the media. You tag those important parts. Like, she tagged MMA Junkie, ESPN, and Canal Combate. She tagged those important media outlets, so they'll start putting it together and they'll start talking about it, right? That's smart. You know, that's smart. You gotta break it down like that, because I don't think a lot of these fighters are taking that same approach. They think it's almost rude to tag somebody in a fight call out. But I'm like, no, man, it's the fight game. You fight. You invade somebody's space. Somebody invades your space. You fight them. So why? That's the thing that's weird about fighting. Like, that's what makes fighting so ironic now. It's like, here you take punches to the face. Here you beat on somebody with ground and pound sometimes until they're out. You know, such a brutal, savage sport. But calling somebody's name is not civil. Somebody make sense of that. I mean, Stamina, can you make some sense of that? I mean, well, since when does calling somebody out rude in a sport where you walk home with concussions and you get your teeth knocked out and sometimes you pee blood, you know, you piss blood at times, you know, make sense of that to me. Like, why is the call out part so rude and unprofessional? I don't get it. Maybe somebody can answer that for me. I'm gonna look at y'all, what y'all saying here. Stamina said no. Oh, yeah, something else. Robot Chicken said E-Boss is serious. Yeah. Bungalow said, anyone see Britton Hart walk off the press conference complaining about Paige? Yeah, I saw that. I agree with it, man. I agree with that. I'm going to talk about that, too. I mean, we could talk about it after this, but yeah, I saw it. Stamina said, I think Amanda just had sausage fingers. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Alexa Davis is just a fighter. Maybe she's just a fighter. But in the next breath, who brings the eyeballs is the same pretty much any car headliner in the history. So it's fair. Yeah. It's very complaint. Yeah, maybe she's part of, I don't know. Maybe she's working behind the scenes. I don't know. Stammer said, my mother always told me not to try to make sense of nonsense. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's no sense to what they're doing. Like when fighters say a call out is unprofessional or it's not civil, that's just their form of not wanting to fight the best. And I think we could just say it that way. Like when people try to make sense of nonsense, then they're just avoiding it. You know, they're just avoiding the inevitable or what really makes sense, you know. Like when people say stuff like, I'm too tired to work out. I mean, like, okay, you did all this other stuff. You know, you use all your energy to fight with me or argue with me all day, but you can't go off and do some miles or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just avoiding what's right in front of their faces, you know? I don't know, man. I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, it's simple. Like, what she did is simple. And if she gets this fight, then I'm going to be like, yo, all y'all need to take lessons for sure. Like, the only thing that might stop Ebos and Jan from happening is the ranking. You know, because there's some people that want to see it and don't want to see it. Some agree with me on that one. Some don't agree, and I'm fine with that. I mean, they make some good points. Like, some people think that it's too much of a risk for Jan. But for me, it's like, you know, Jan's only going to fail if she fights the elite fighters. That's my thing. Like, you only fail if you fight those elite fighters right now. So you probably do need to take a step back to kind of get a tune up and work. Because Jan versus Rose, I don't see that fight being a winnable fight for Jan Janan, even though it's a different style matchup. Don't see her beating Mackenzie Dern. No, I don't see Jan Jana beating Mackenzie Dern right now. So before you start taking them L's and really get dropped down to rankings, Ebos would be a good fight. But yeah, the only thing that would stop it, like I said, was just the difference. You know, the seven ranking difference. What? You know, I see other crazy stuff happen before. And just looking at the comment section here, you know, some people liked it. They was like, I prefer, somebody in the comment section of this article said, I prefer this to all the tired trash talk. So see, they like it. It's a civil call out. It makes sense. Somebody said being respectful is more so exciting. And somebody said, I prefer my lady fighters to be respectful and my dude fighters to talk trash, which I don't care about that part. Like, I don't care about that part. women or men, however you do it. If you want to do it respectful, that's fine. Or if you want to talk the trash, that's fine. I don't care about that. I mean, as long as you calling them. Oh, let me see. Robert Henry said that savageness is slipping out. It's just what it's not. It's there. Like I said, it's in there. It just depends on when it come out. Stamina said, it's that if that's not their character, so be it. The thing to not do is to insult anyone's intelligence by attempting to justify it. I ain't with all that. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't try to justify it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, yeah, if it's not in your character, that's fine. Okay. But don't try to justify it. Like, don't try to put other things in there and say, oh, the call out is, doesn't make sense, or that's, it's just unprofessional. Don't justify it. Just when somebody mentions the name, just walk off. That's why I need to start seeing people do, like, at post-fight, at the post-fight interview, if they mention the name, why don't you just change the subject? Just change the subject or walk off. That's what they need to start doing. Just change the subject or walk off. Bungalow said Gus to win. He does the chicken dance. Yeah. Yes, Stammer said better Yawn fight someone nice and low in the rankings and more like keep her spot in theory than fight someone neighboring in her rankings and more likely to lose it. Right. By taking an L. Yeah, exactly. Like, because if you put Yawn in there with Ebos right now and she gets the win, better to, defend that spot, hold on to that spot, just sustain that, and at the same time get a good fight that's going to help you grow. Ebos, you beat Ebos, okay, you'll probably stay at number 4, and that's fine because we don't need you in there with the top 3 yet. Anybody else, Mackenzie Dern, Joanna, who else? Zhang Wei Li. Anybody that's like right next to you in that elite level, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that yet. That's why I said it makes sense. It just makes sense because you see it in boxing all the time. A guy who's ranked number 3 or 4, if they get beat, they lose a title shot or they get beat by a higher ranked opponent, they will fight an unranked fighter. They will fight a fighter that's maybe 5-6 spots below them, and that'll kind of just help them sustain where they're at. But it's not really smart for them to take on another hard fight right away. High Five said Verna versus Ebos. Now I do like that fight. I ain't gonna argue. I do like that fight. Verna Jandaroba versus Ebos would be a good fight. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good fight. Ebos just put me on this Yawn fight because she called out and she just made it so look straightforward. Gave everybody what she wanted, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. But if they made Verna fight Ebos, that's a good one. That's a good match. Robot Chicken said Yawn doesn't deserve to be number 5. Did she fall down to number 5 now? I thought she was number 4. Yeah, she's still number 4. Marina Rodriguez is number 5 right now. Yeah, Yawn's still in that top 4. She's still in that top 5. She's number 4, and Marina's rounding it out at number 5. But I know what you mean. She doesn't deserve to be number 4 then. Yeah. Like I said, when I went back and just studied like the fighters she fought, it was more so timing with her. They gave her the right fights. Just to kind of put her on that winning streak, and she beat everybody. But there were particular styles that she beat that got her there. She beat a stand-up fighter. She beat a small stand-up fighter, Vivian Pereira. She beat Angela Hill. She beat Karolina Kobakevich, who didn't really pose a great threat. Then she beat Claudia Gadelia, who doesn't have the stand-up game. But Claudia showed some little, she showed some parts. She showed a little bit of parts where she could expose some weakness in Jan. Then Carla, she went all out and dominated, So, yeah, when you look at the fighters that she fought, there was really no other ground threats that she fought to make us say that she was strong in all levels. Maybe she should have fought Mackenzie Dern on the way up or something like that, Maybe the Mackenzie Dern fight should have been something for Jan Janan along the way, but it never happened. But yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with her being in that top 5, because Jan, I don't see her beating any of the top 5. Like, really, like, even when it just comes to, stand up too. Like, some of these fighters are hitting harder. Joanna's hitting much more accurate, and she's just sharper, quicker. Marina Rodriguez is more powerful with the punches, that is. Maybe not physically, but she hits harder. Jan Janan is going to be a little bit more of a difficult fight for her too as well. So, yeah, she is the one that I can understand that, though. So, yeah, it's good stuff, man. Whenever a fighter just says things like this, they just make it known that, look, it's time to fight. Yo, let's make it happen. You tag Dana, you tag everybody in it, and then you just kind of hope for the best from there. You kind of go from there. I mean, you got to give Ribas credit, too. Coming off a brutal knockout loss where she was knocked out twice in the second round to Marina Rodriguez, she's really showing you that she's got some brains and balls to call out a number 4 fighter. She's got the brains and the balls to call out a number 4 fighter by saying, look, can we make this fight happen? Everybody else's schedule, let's do this. Coming off a loss to the number 5 fighter, then you want to shoot higher and go for the number 4 fighter. So she's using a little bit of everything to get what she wants. I mean, that's why I can't knock Ribas on this call out. Colton said Tatiana's dominant win over Carla is aging really well. Yeah. I mean, Tatiana did something that so many other fighters have trouble doing. Like Rose couldn't handle it at the time. I know that was years ago. But Tatiana said, nope, this is how we taking this fight. And she dominated. She just straight beat Carla like, I don't know. She just drowned Carla out, beat her in the head, bad, dominated, stopped her. I was like, wow. High five, don't put Jan or any fresh faces in the ranking. Just put all the veterans in. Yeah, that's kind of where strawweight division differs from the flyweight division. Like the strawweight division, their veterans, it seems a little bit more exciting. You can kind of match everybody up and everybody will fight. The flyweight division, everybody's kind of fought, but nobody's really like wanting to go for the championship. Nobody's really calling the champ out like they are in the strawweight division. I think there's a better balance in the strawweight division too. Like there's so much more polished, skilled fighters. Everybody's kind of primed and ready to go in some areas, and some of your fresher faces, they're in the right places. Your Kanako Murata, I know she's coming off her loss. She's unranked right now. Corey McKenna, she's not in the top 15 right now, but she's kind of where she needs to be. Then you just kind of move up the ladder. Felice Harrigan, number 15, might need to be gone soon. Amanda Lemos is where she needs to be, and so on. I think that's why the strawweight division is still the best, man. Robot Chicken said Ribas will drown Jan. It's possible. It's very much possible. That's the level that she needs to learn from. High five, Carla. Carla's losses against Tatiana and JJ stuck in everyone's brains, but she's super hyped now. Yeah, I still remember those fights. Like, everybody that she's beat they weren't able to do what Tatiana and JJ done. I mean, that's kind of straightforward, right? But, you know, JJ's very, very strong. That long reach. Tatiana Suarez, very, very strong. Physically strong and can control her. So that's one of the things you have to be to beat Carla, is just strong, and you have to be committed to your long punches, and you got to be able to use your reach. You know, Marina Rodriguez had some moments, but she wasn't as committed like Joanna. So Joanna, you know, blew through her. High Five said some people adore the veterans too much that new faces are nothing to them. It depends. Like, for the strawweight division, I think it makes sense for people to adore the veterans more because they're still more primed and ready to go, and they show more hunger. I don't know if that's just me. You know, when I look at the veterans in the strawweight division, even like Joanna, Zhang, Carla, not Claudia, but even Michelle Waterson or Tisha Torres, I see some more fire in them. I see more fire in them versus some of the top 10 in the flyweight division. I mean, that's just me, because I think the division is, you know, one of the greatest. You know, that's why I think even myself, in my opinion, I adore the strawweight division's veterans more. You know, I adore what every one of them brings to the table more so. But the new faces, I like the new faces. Don't get me wrong. Like, the new faces aren't nothing to me. I know you mean everybody else, but like, the new faces, I'm glad that we have this second half on the rise, because when the Amanda Lamoses, the Kanako Muratas, the Verna Jindarobas, the Corey McKennas, when they get where they need to be, they'll keep the division going, if that makes sense. You know, they'll keep the division thriving. So right now, I'm just enjoying what the top 10 is bringing, you know, style-wise. I mean, Joanna, her day might be about done. You know, she's got one more fight. Who knows what she's going to do. Zhang Wei Li, possibility of her fighting Rose again. Carla fighting Rose. Marina Rodriguez and Mackenzie Dern fighting. Just a lot of good matchups made, because they still have a lot to go. They still have a lot to prove. You know, there's a lot going for them, but that's why I adore them, because, you know, they're just bringing it, man. But yeah, when the new faces come in, I start giving them credit now. When they, you know, start weeding their way in, hey, it'll be on, man. High five. Angela's a veteran, got losses, but she's still in every conversation. Yeah. High five. Angela's still in every conversation because, you know, she's not really getting finished. I mean, she's been stopped before by Randa. She's been submitted by Randa. She's been submitted by Rose. Has a lot of losses, but some are questionable. You know, she's still a game fighter. You know, Angela Hill's busy too. You know, she's very, very game. You know, I mean, active too. She still wants to give you fights, so I like that. Stammer said, I don't think the veterans show hunger. What they show is more poise, a bit more level-headedness under pressure. The youngins and that fire in their belly might be all they have initially. Like the you mean the flyweight division? Because I think the veterans in the strawweight division show hunger. But if you talking about the strawweight division, no, I think the opposite. Strawweight division, I think the veterans show hunger. You know, like not every single one, but I think there's still a hunger there because they keep it going. Like Carla's got the hunger, in my opinion. You know, Zhang Weili still has the hunger. I'm calling her a veteran now because, you know, she did touch that belt. She's been around in the world of MMA for a while. I think Tisha does. I think Tisha's still got the hunger. Like I said, what you saying, Stamina, about the flyweight division? I think that flies for the flyweight division. Yeah. I think, well, yeah, let me see. Level-headedness and contentness. They're too content. Part of that, I agree. Yeah. High Five said Angela's more popular than y'all. Yeah, she's more popular. Her being American, speaking English, and being around for a minute. She does commentating and things like that too with Karen Bryant. So she's gonna be a little bit more popular. But yeah, let's see what else, man. So yeah, we talked about some good stuff here as far as the call outs, but let's jump to this next fight here, man. I haven't talked about it enough, I don't think. I mean, this is a fight I've been looking forward to, but I'm gonna talk about it as we get closer and closer. Talk about it more. Hang on, y'all. Let me pull it up here. Okay. Yeah, so talked about call out and everything long enough, but boom, let's talk about this fight a little bit, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, more than interesting. It's gonna be good. Yeah. Flyweight champion Jullianna Velasquez versus the number 4 Kielholtz, Denise Dynamite Kielholtz. Coming up July 16th on a Friday. Probably one of the best fights this month. One of the more anticipated fights I've been looking forward to here. Because I was calling for this one, man. I was like, look, they got to make this happen. Denise Kielholtz should be higher, in my opinion, in ranking. I can believe Denise Kielholtz was number 4 and Kana Watanabe was like number 3. I was like, come on, Denise has been around forever. Denise had been around for a minute and had like 5 or 6 wins in Bellator. Good wins. But yeah, this is the fight, man. This right here is the fight I'm looking forward to. Jullianna Velasquez last time out, beat the champion Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. A little bit more competitive than I thought it would have been. I thought that Jullianna Velasquez would have went in there and used her striking a little bit more, her height, her reach to her advantage a little bit more, but she gave Ilima-Lei Macfarlane those last 2 rounds and made it a little bit close, a little dangerous there. But her way up the ladder was interesting. Like her way up the ladder to get to the belt was what I was looking at. Like I thought she was very, very solid in a lot of departments. Velasquez. She was doing a little bit of everything. Finishes. Taking fighters the distance. Using that striking, good clinch work. But maybe it was just some nerves in that Ilima-Lei Macfarlane fight because I expected her to go in there and blast her out. Hang on, what? I was looking at something. I was looking at something you said because I was scrolling through the comments. Stamina said, I hope flyweight isn't all that reliant on De La Rosa. That'd be a mark of condemnation. Condemnation. Yeah. I hope not, man. No, I don't think they are though. Hey, she got the potential, as everybody's thinking, right? De La Rosa is the last hope. Like saying the only thing I have left in my refrigerator is pig feet. Mark is crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, even we go back to talking about De La Rosa. De La Rosa, man, is like fun to watch, but I'm still not seeing. I'm not seeing like the big threat in there, from her. I'm not seeing a great threat from her, man. High five. Whaley isn't a veteran. She just came in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I see no hunger in JJ, Watterson, Tisha, Angela, Ebos, or Nina being a champion. Do they want to fight and win and entertain? I think, are you just saying like UFC veteran? Because I'm calling them veteran, because of what they've been able to do too, and build their way up, build their resume up from the ground up. I'm calling not just veterans of the UFC. I think that's where a lot of people make that mistake of just thinking it's about the UFC. No, it's about the other organizations too. What year? 2013? Yeah, like I'm going all the way back. Like I'm talking about just veterans as far as fighting. Like Zhang Weili's a veteran. She's been around for 8 years. You got to give her credit for that. I mean, that's where it all started. They count those wins as wins. They count those knockouts as knockouts. So they got to count for something. If somebody been fighting 8 years, she still shows a lot of hunger to me. And Joanna, I think she has some type of hunger, not like the hunger like everybody else does, but I think Joanna's hunger is like keeping her game. Like it may be for money, which it probably is, but money make you do some crazy things. So, I think her hunger is for something else, but it's there, And I think Tisha has the hunger. Like I said, Tisha's kind of been going back to the drawing board. Tisha's got a fight lined up. Tisha's been working with Rose, Andrea Lee. She's been working a little bit more to get back up the top, So I like the hunger in them. Like Ebos, I see the hunger in Ebos. Yeah. Like she's not a veteran though. Yeah, Ebos, I see hunger in her, but she's not a veteran. Nina Ansaroff, yeah, I agree with that. Nina, we'll see what she look like when she go up to flyweight, where she's about to make her next move. High Five said Montana is in the top tier flyweight. No, she's not. She not. Yeah, no. Like she's not top tier flyweight. No, not at all. That's what my argument was on Friday. Like my argument about Montana is that she has some dangerous qualities, but she's always setting herself back. Like she's been beating the same level of fighters for a long time. But when she stepped it up against Arujo, she lost. She stepped it up against Andrea Lee, she lost. She had good moments in that fight. But even when I went back and watched Viviane Arujo, 30-27. She lost every single round. She lost every single round. High Five said a bunch of people will still see Weili beating Cans and said her career only started at UFC. No, like I mentioned everybody's career. Like when I'm talking about Chris Cyborg or whether I'm talking about Chris Cyborg or Weili or Manon Fiorot, those wins, they count for something. That's the problem. Like maybe it's something we'll talk about later, but like I think too many people we know that the UFC is some of the best fighters in the world, right? But everybody has to grow from somewhere. And whatever organization you were with in the beginning, that was what level you were on. The fighter you were fighting on that level was some type of challenge, right? That fighter was some type of challenge to you. So that win stands for something. That win wasn't a bum. It wasn't a tomato can. When you started off in, I don't know, what are some of these other lower organizations? Not even something lower than Cage Fury right now, like CFFC, something, below that was local, non-televised. Non-televised organizations, that's what level you're on to prove yourself, It's not bums out there, y'all are just starting out. You beat the best on that level, that stands for something. On the LFA, you beat the best in LFA, that stands for something. You beat the best in Bellator, that stands for something. Your UFC wins they're not the only wins that count. They're not the only wins that count. It seems like people only bring up your past fights when you lost. You know what I mean? Like people have said, oh, this person lost their first fight 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, they won't count the wins. That's why I say Zhang Weili is a veteran. You know, she's a veteran. She's been around 8 years now, 20-some fights. Robert Henry said, I'm about to do a video called Fighters with the Old School Mentality and Fighters that have a little too much class. That's funny, man. You should do it. I know I got to do a video talking about weeding these fighters out, though. Like, weeding out the fighters that don't want to fight. Marcus said, and right now Antonina is in the same bracket with Jillian, DLR, Montana, Molly, and Lipsky. I mean, who want to break down the tiers right now? I mean, maybe some other time I'll do that. But breaking down the tiers, it's like, who's the best out of each tier? You know what I mean? That's going to show you who has potential. Starting with the bottom. Marcus Bell said, De La Rosa also lost to Calvillo and Mackenzie Dern. Therefore, DLR's pattern has already been established. Thank you, man. Like, that's what I'm just saying. Like, she's dangerous, right? She can be dangerous, man. Montana can be dangerous, but her pattern is always the same. I'm saying this all the time. Her pattern is the same to where I know what she's going to do in there. Or we can so-called make some assumptions on what she's going to do in there. But like when I see Manon Fiorot has these tools that look dazzling and they look untouchable for where she's at. Montana never really looked like that, in my opinion. You know, she's always put on a good fight and was dangerous, but I think Manon, she's always looked like this level, even in the UAE and so on back. Robot Chicken said, De La Rosa is better than Molly, Lipsky. Well, yeah, she's better than Lipsky. Better than Molly. Yeah, I think you make that argument. Jillian, I think Jillian and Montana are about on the same level, though. Stamina said, I feel like the veteran title is somewhat self-fulfilling. By that, I mean that fighters should have their names on the record of a credible pedigree. To that could also be called veterans, ideally. See, I think of veterans like, I guess, having years of experience, some level of experience in. We call people that on jobs sometimes as a person's a vet, military. And yeah, Zhang Weili's got those names, She's got a few names on there. Because everybody who she fought was somebody that stood for something, even outside of the UFC. Stammer said Chandler has had 2 fights in the UFC. He won 1 and lost 1. Marcus, by beating the likes of Rachel, Kasim, Barella, and Lipsky, I don't think so. Casey O'Neill and Manon are exciting in Montana. I mean, they're exciting. Montana's exciting. She puts on some entertainment fights, whether she's on the losing end or not. But, not like top 10 level, though. Y'all over it. But what are we talking about? All right, so I'm not really going to break this fight down yet. I just wanted to pull it up to kind of give y'all a heads up on it. Velasquez versus Kielholtz. This is a much needed fight for the flyweight division. I've been calling for this fight for a minute. I'm glad that they're matching these two up because who was in the top 5 anyways? Of course, there's a champ. Then there's Alimale McFarlane, Liz Carmouche, Conor Watanabe was number 3 at the time. Then number 4 was Kielholtz. So they're giving it to the right person now. Kielholtz deserves this title shot. She was here longer than Carmouche. Alima Lemick just lost, so give Kielholtz a chance to get this fight. She should be higher ranked in my opinion, but this is going to be explosive. I think it's going to be explosive because what Kielholtz brings to the table, I think she's going to make Velasquez have to fight harder than she's fought in her championship fight with Ilima McFarland. I mean, what do y'all think? I think Kielholtz is going to press that action. Kielholtz got power in both hands. She's a Bellator kickboxing champion as well. I think the one thing that might be trouble for her in this fight may be getting in on the inside of the reach. But, Kielholtz, she's established. She's established herself as one of the best kickboxers in Bellator by having that belt. And, she's definitely got a style that I feel like can get on the inside more so. She's not going to be showing the same respect that Ilima McFarland did. She can be looking for the mid-range and closing that distance. And that's something she's going to have to look out from Velasquez. Velasquez is polished. She knows how to stick the jab out, push those teep kicks out. And she's a southpaw. That southpaw style might be some trouble whenever she tries to step straight into the pocket. You put that lead foot on the inside of the southpaw, you right on the inside of their punching power. You're right in that zone. So it's gonna be interesting, man. You definitely got to watch this fight if you're new to the world WMMA. Mr. Lee, if you're not familiar, we said Kielholtz is from Dutch, born in Amsterdam. Okay, so you know a little bit about her. All right. So yeah, definitely check this fight out. I think it's going to be a good match. Let's pull up some stats here early up just to kind of see what both fighters have on their plate, man. Jullianna Velasquez. Jullianna Velasquez, she's kind of a big flyweight, man. And what's crazy is they're both black belts at judo. So somebody might be trying to toss somebody up in here, man. Let's see. Jullianna Velasquez, 67.5-inch reach. She stands at 5'7". Some sites say 5'6". I'm going to say 5'7" because she's pretty big. 11-0. Got that black belt in judo. Got that stand up too. She's got that Muay Thai style. A good counter puncher as well. 5'7". Denise Kielholtz stands. I want to say Denise Kielholtz is 5'4". Hold on. Let's pull it up. I don't want to guess. Denise Kielholtz stands at 5'3", 66-inch reach. Reach isn't going to be a big factor, but the height, 4-inch height advantage for Jullianna Velasquez. So, yeah, Kielholtz going to be pressing the action here, man. She's going to be trying to throw overhand rights. She's going to be trying to get on the inside, make this thing explosive because she can't stay on the outside in this fight. You get picked apart. You can't keep, pawing out with the jab. Going to have to close in with power shots. Be smart about it, of course, though. But, I'm going to have to break this thing down. I'm definitely going to do a keys to victory on this one, though, man. Marcus said, I forgot one person who Montana lost to, and that is Nico. Oh, yeah. That was wasn't that the fight where she had, the sheet of blood on her face? She was banged up in that fight. Yeah. So, yeah, Montana's, like I said, it's already safe to say Montana's showing us what level she's on for right now. High Five said, I never said I don't like Montana, but she's a top. I never said I don't like Montana, but she's not a top fighter, but I do hate shadow boxer Barbie. She said she's overhyped. She's getting pushed. Too cocky. Damn. He said he can't stand Macy. Wow. I like Macy's heart. I like Macy's heart. Skill set needs to be worked on. Her demeanor needs to be worked on. Stop letting your tongue get ahead of your skills. Hold your tongue sometimes. Just let your skills catch up before you start talking. Robert Henry said, to me, one of the biggest differences between me. Oh, yeah, one of the biggest differences to me between Manon and Montana is that Montana doesn't appear as dangerous a fighter early, meaning I don't see early finishes happening as much. Yeah, I agree, Robert. Like Manon, I think, is more committed to what she wants. I've said that on Friday. She's committed to it. Like, she's a killer. She's got the kill switch, and not only that, but she's got the technique. Her technique is more developed than Montana. She's ready to finish. She's ready to dominate. Montana can have a slow start. She can have a slow start, and she can also just kind of not lose, I don't think we'll call it lose focus, but kind of let another opponent step. I don't know. She'll let another opponent kind of step on that gas over, kind of run her over right whenever she's kind of losing that focus. So, yeah, Montana, that's been her downfall. Like, she's got those moments where she's dangerous, but boom, she'll let somebody with better technique just take her over. Manon Fiorot, man, that's why I say, like, she stands out, man. Like, she stands out because, first fight in the UFC, dominant. I know the Tabitha Ricci fight was a mismatch, but again, she took the same approach. Said, "Look, I'm be dominant in there." Yeah, Denise Kielholtz, this fight is gonna be good, man. I'm gonna have to go back and break it down. I can't really do a pick right now. Like I said, I just wanted to let y'all know this is one to watch here. I could see Velasquez wanting to be the more technical fighter here. Velasquez is going to want to be more so on the back foot like she was with Alima Lay, but she's going to have to be busier. Have to be more of a counterpuncher in this fight. I think Kielholtz is more committed to her offense, much more explosive. Velasquez can be explosive, but she likes to be patient. She does like to kind of use her mind a little bit when we use that IQ. But Kielholtz, she mixes it up, man. Kicks, left hook, the right hand. So I know that she's going to be looking to be finishing the champion. She's going to want that. But we'll see how this height advantage and reach advantage, if you want to call it a reach advantage, for Velasquez plays out. Now, strength is going to be interesting, too. Like, I don't know. Like, power edge I give to Kielholtz just because, she's much more explosive. But Velasquez, I might have to give her the strength edge. She's much more bigger, and she's so much more gritty when she does get into the clinch, and more controlling. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a fight to look out for, y'all. So it's a couple weeks, man. Just a couple more weeks. What's today? The 4th. 14 more days. So yeah, like 2 weeks now. Yeah. Oh, Robot Chicken said De La Rosa beats Chikagan. Ooh, I don't know about that. Oh no, man. De La Rosa is just too smart and has. De La Rosa is just too smart. No, excuse me. Chikagan is too smart. Chikagan is too smart for De La Rosa. That's my opinion. I think she's showing you that by her level right now. Her smarts and her IQ in the octagon is just going to be too much for De La Rosa. I mean, she can take you apart. She'll take apart this type of fighter. She's much better with her on her feet, and to me, just some better gas tank. Doesn't even have to knock her out. I think, Caitlin Chikagan just going to have some fun in there with Montana I'm just matching that type of style up, man. You can't count Chikagan out if it went down to the ground as well. Chikagan's got a ground game. I said Maverick is the best version of Barber. Or are they sisters? Like the better sister? No. Man, like Caitlin Chikagan, like, ooh, that's kind of disrespectful, man, because Caitlin is a smart fighter. Like, Caitlin might not knock you out. She might not be the one to, score these big head kicks, but Caitlin Chikagan is the one that's got the the smarts, man. It's all comes down to the IQ. But you'll never see that fight because Caitlin's gonna continue to hold her spot down, and Montana's gonna deliver on her level. Mr. Lee said, I like to call Kielholtz out. Hey. So you like to call Kielholtz out. Hey, man. I mean, if I had to make like a list of top 5 or top 10 WMMA fighters, most attractive, I think Kielholtz would be in my top 3, top 2. Yeah, Denise Kielholtz. Yeah. Just by looking at her, she's definitely top 2 or top 3 if I was doing most attractive. Top 10, yeah. Her and Alejandra Lara. I know everybody's going to say, oh, anybody in the UFC? Just because it's the UFC? No, nope. Kielholtz and Lara, man. I think they're top 3 for me. They're in the top 3. Robot Chick is about ground and pound. The blonde fighter would be the maroon fighter. No, I don't see that. I think Kalish Kagan would win by a decision. High Five said Manon will break Montana's face in the first round. Dang. Wow. I mean, look, her defense, Montana's defense versus Manon Fiorot's offense. It'll be worse than the Viviane Araújo fight. That's how I see it. I see Manon Fiorot doing way more damage than Viviane Araújo was able to do, but just because she got the gas tank as well. She got the gas tank too, so no, I can't. Manon Fiorot got that. Robert Henry said Velasquez doesn't usually let off a bunch of punches unless she has you cornered. Right. Denise needs to keep the fight in the center. Yeah, like Velasquez is very methodical. She can be a counter puncher. She's very economical with her shots. She'll pick you apart. But if she got you cornered when that left hand lands, yeah, she'll go after you then. She'll put them together. But no, like Kielholtz got to be in the center, away from that cage. Robert Henry said, I'm so tired of talking about De La Rosa. BJ has left his stench over all the live stream. Yeah, okay, let's not talk about it. Yeah, yeah, okay, Rob. We won't no more. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like we talking about an unranked fighter, right? Are we talking about a number 15 being a danger to the champion? No, man. We won't do that no more, Robert. We'll stop. Robot Chicken said, how you pronounce her name? Crusader Adams is in his top 5. Who is that? Let me see. Have I seen her fight? Yeah, I've seen her. Okay, I know you're talking about. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He said Crusader Adams. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, okay. She's still a prospect when it come up. Marcus Bell said, sounds like Alexa Grasso wants to go through the flyweight gauntlet before fighting Valentina. Hey, why not? Yeah, like, she just came up. She just came into the flyweight division, beat Macy Barber. I mean, Macy wasn't like the biggest threat when it comes to being a flyweight. So why not go through the gauntlet? Why not fight the Jennifer Myers or why not fight Jennifer Myers or who's some other names in the top 10? I don't know. Why'd you call for Lauren Murphy? Joanne Calderwood, stuff like that. Those are good names. Yeah. Yeah, me and my mom were watching that. Me and my mom were watching that fight a week ago. About a week ago. Me and my mom were watching the Montana De La Rosa and Viviane Araújo fight, and my mom was like, "Shoot, that girl got beat up." You know, my mom was like, "Yo, Viviane Araújo is putting it on her." She didn't think it was competitive at all. For real. Especially when them scorecards were, I was like, yeah, 30-27. Mom, I was like, yeah, she got a behind beat. I was like, she put it on her. Yeah, like Montana landed a few good shots in the Viviane Araújo fight. But yeah, Viviane Araújo pieced her up, man. That's why I said Manon Fiorot with the gas tank and with the reach and the power, she will break faces, man. High Five said Manon has damage in Yoko and she finds angles really well. Montana has no head movement. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's gonna be a good fight though. This gonna be a good fight. Mama Breaker watch. Oh hell yeah. He said Mama Breaker watches fights. Oh yeah. You don't. I mean, I like to get personal, but hey, you knew her background. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll break it down to you. Yeah, but yeah, fighter. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Mama Breaker watches fights. It all started with boxing and kickboxing and all of that stuff. I mean, that's where I get it from. Next to my dad, that's where I get it from. Let's say this. Mom has my mom at a young age had the strength of Jessica Andrade. Let me put it that way. Same height, same build. And yeah, she's got that type of strength. I ain't just bragging on my mom either. Like, she's got that type of strength, man. Mom is Jessica Andrade strength. She's a fight fan. Yeah, man, she be watching, like, breaking stuff down, man. What were we watching? We were watching Nunes and Megan Anderson. We know we were doing a playback on that, and she was like, "Yo, this girl, what's she doing?" I was like, "She froze up," you know. She's like, "She froze up." It's funny, man. Yeah, she be watching fights. We be watching them, man. We've been watching a lot lately, you know. Past couple weeks, it was like, yo, check this fight out. You know, check out this girl Valentina. I think my mom was actually enjoying the Wei Lee fight, so she enjoyed the Wei Lee fights and watching Joanna fight. Yeah, like we watched Valentina versus Joanna. She loved that fight, man. Yeah, man. Stammer said, it sounds like his too. Probably ready for war at all times. Yeah, man. Like that's her background, you know. So it rubbed off on me. But I mean, yeah, she's been watching stuff like this forever. You know, on and off, we've been kind of catching back up on fights. Like, you know, she's not too familiar with the names and stuff with some of these fights. But if you turn a good fight on, she'll watch it. Oh. Big, you know, I think she's like me. She's a bigger fan of the women too. You know, she's a big fan. Even my dad, like, he's a bigger fan of WMMA than MMA, which is, I don't know. Like, why is that? Like, why is some people more? Why do some people gravitate more towards WMMA than the MMA? I mean, not everybody does, but some people. I guess there's a selection of us, right? I mean, why is that for you, Stamina? If you like WMMA better than MMA, like the men's fights, why is that? Like, I'm just curious. Cause like I said, my dad, he thinks it's more exciting. My mom does. I do. You know, my sister does. We all think it's more exciting than the men sometimes. Now, like I said, shout out to the men. You know, ain't taking nothing away, but like when the women come on, it's just like tend to like to watch them more. I don't know. He said y'all can run up during the family cookout if y'all want to. Yeah, it's just been like that for me, man. I've just always been into the women more when it comes to fighting. I mean, with boxing, I love watching the men, of course, but you know, when it comes to MMA, I don't know. I got more into that years ago. You know, watching women fight. But yeah, man, we've been on here for a minute tonight. Had some good conversation again, just talking about these fighters, you know, call outs and everything. Now I'm starting to think of food again. After being on here like an hour and a half with y'all. Yeah, it's been about an hour and 40, and I am hungry. Well, you know, 4th of July, I got some steak over here. So, yeah, Rob, here I got some steak tonight, man. I got to put this ribeyes on. Put some ribeyes on. Yeah. Because they cook quick here, man. I can fix them things quick. Man, they are blowing it up out here, man. They are. Order a pizza. Nah, I ain't gonna order no pizza, man. I'm gonna hit this steak up I got. Man, they are blowing it up out here, man. They are tearing things up with these fireworks. So Stammer said, I asked myself why all the damn time the men can be often are more skilled and technical, but there's a certain something I get from WMMA, nothing superficial, that I just really dig. Yeah, I think that's the best way to kind of drop it. You know, that's how I feel like. It's just something. Yeah, it's just something. Marcus said, I like watching the women's fights more because there isn't many women MMA fights as it is men, along with most of them being intriguing. Right. Stammer said, I got introduced to MMA by a girl and she showed me Ronda Rousey. That might be part of it. Okay. Colton said, Ronda Rousey got me into MMA. She's the queen. Okay. Robot Chicken said, Ronda Rousey's a pioneer. Yeah, I seen MMA like back when I was young, man, like really young, like the VHS tapes. That's what my dad had, like the VHS tapes, like before, you know, any of that other stuff, any of them rules applied. It was just like almost like people off the street doing it, you know, or you were having straight, you know, guys straight come from the Gracie gym and you'd have them fight a karate guy. That was like, you know, mid 90s. I really wasn't into it then. I was still a boxing fan, but when we got into like, yeah, like them Strike Force days, like on Showtime, and there was this one tournament that I seen where like Misha Tate was really, really, really young. That's when I was like, oh man, what is this? Like it started becoming more attractive to me, like, you know, seeing the women start fighting. Like I watched some of the men's fights throughout the early 2000s. You know, I was still kind of on the fence about it, but I still wasn't really into the whole mixed martial arts thing. Like I didn't get it at the time. Yeah, like I was seeing it because my dad, he was watching it, like the VHS tapes. Yeah, they were wearing them. They were wearing like jogging suits, or they were wearing like it looked like they were just wearing anything. Then like they had a wrestler come in wearing what you would wear like WWE, and then, you know, they would have like a Gracie come in his gi, karate guys were coming in their gi. It was crazy, it was crazy. And I wasn't getting it back then. Like sometimes when it went to the ground and would just sit there, I was like, this is boring. Like I would see some of them Gracie fights and he would just sit there on his back, with the guy in his guard. And I was like, this is boring. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why ain't he punching? I was like, why is he just sitting there? And then I was like, why is he tapping? This is way back. So then I was just like, I ain't watching this no more. I'm going back to boxing. Then 2003, 2004, started looking at it a little bit more. Then watching the women more and them Strike Force fights. I was like, I like this. Then I saw that one. I don't know if y'all saw that one Tough House show. It was like women fighters in like a reality show type setting. It was Felice Herrig was up in there. It was like a kickboxing show or a boxing show. It was kind of like a mixed martial arts reality show. It was like back in 2005 or 2006 or something like that. It was I think it was only around for like one season though. What was that reality show she's on? Yeah, the Ultimate Women Challenge. It was an MMA show. It was called the Ultimate Women Challenge. That was like, let me pull up. What year was that? Oh yeah, it wasn't too long. It was 2007. Well, 2014 years ago, right? Yeah, Caitlin Young was on it. Caitlin Young was on it. Barb Honchak was on it. Julie Kedzie was in it. Angela Magana was in it. Heather Jo Clark was on it. And yeah, Felice Herrig was in it. So that's kind of where their beef went all the way back, right? I remember seeing like a little bit of that and it didn't last, man. Yeah, that guy wearing a boxing glove. Yeah. No, not Ultimate Fighter. Not the Tough House, Marcus. I'm talking about the show called Ultimate Women Challenge. It had Heather Jo Clark was in it. Angela Magana was in it, and Caitlin Young was on it. They were all in the same season. This was before. This was kind of like around the same time, but it was something they were trying out. It was called Ultimate Women Challenge. Because I talked about it. Actually, Caitlin Young brought it up when I did an interview with her. She brought it up, and she was talking about how they didn't get paid for the show. Like I think they tried to sue the people. Yeah, this only lasted like one season. Yeah, this was like 14 years ago on the I think it was like NBC or something. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, with women, I just tend to watch it more now. I don't know. Like, probably ain't ever gonna stop. I think just bring interesting stuff to the table. Robert Henry said, I got chicken breast bags in the freezer, plus burgers for the grill and plenty of salad. Yeah, I think I got some salad in there. I might make one, or make somewhat of a salad. Yeah, but yeah, Colton said, Ronda Rousey, she got a lot of people into, MMA, so she does get a lot of credit for that. I give her credit for that. I was never like a diehard fan of Ronda Rousey, but she gets her credit for it, for bringing that entertainment value to the, to the market. I mean, to the table. All right. But yeah, man. About to get up out of here now. I know we got a good weekend coming up of fights. I won't say like a great weekend of fights, but we're back on it. Irene Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya are going to fight this Saturday coming. But I'm really looking forward to Velasquez and Kielholtz. Jennifer Maia and Jessica Ai, that fight's this Saturday. We'll talk more about that later this week. We'll talk about that fight. Jennifer Maia and Jessica Ai, Irene Aldana and Yana Kunitskaya. Oh man, I know what I meant to mention. I did a post-fight for this fight. Post-fight video for this fight. Marcus, you got. Well, I don't know if you have UFC Fight Pass, but check out that fight, Marcus. This past Friday, LFA 110, 10-second knockout. I just did a video on it. 10-second knockout. Jacqueline Amarim versus Megan Owen. It was just crazy, man. I was expecting like a longer fight. You know how it is when you're going into a fight in 10 seconds. 10 seconds, she scored a knockout over Megan Owen. I'm like, wow. Strawweight fight. I mean, you don't really see too many knockouts like that with overhand rights, but I'm talking about it was a good knockout, man. Stomach over here growling like a mug, man. I got to go in a minute here, man. I just want to show y'all. So, yeah. Check this fight out, Marcus. This was a good fight. I mean, this is it right here. This fight describes it. This describes what happened in the fight. I mean, it's just a quick knockout. Genesis, what's going on? I'm about to be bouncing soon. What's going on, Genesis Green? TJ said, to be fair, women in MMA goes back to at least to the mid-90s. Not sure we should call someone a pioneer just because they're the first fighter we ever heard of. Owen did not look like she was knocked out. She was. I mean, when she hit her backside like that and she ate 2 hammer fists, she was out. Let's just say she was helpless. Like, she was done. She was like out. She wasn't like out cold, but helpless, like paralyzed. Almost like Amir Khan style. Whenever you hit Amir Khan, he's still awake. Like, his eyes are still looking around, but his body's like paralyzed because he's knocked out. Like when he get knocked out, he be out, but he still be looking around. Like, that's kind of how she was when she was sitting on her backside, and then Amarim knocked her back, and boom, hit her with 2 shots, and she just didn't really respond from 2 hammer fists. So yeah, they had to stop it. Cause it was a big right hand that dropped her, man. Big right hand. 10 seconds in, man. I know you feel a certain type of way because of 10 seconds, man. Stamina said TJ pulling up shooting again. He's shooting blanks, man. He's shooting blanks. Bounced right back. I don't know. She didn't really bounce back up. When she hit her back, Amarim pushed her back down and hit her with 2 fists. So she was foggy. Like, let's say she was responsive enough to know she got dropped, but not responsive enough to defend herself. Yeah, sometimes I think they should have a standing 8 count like boxing. Sometimes it would be nice to see that, because when you drop somebody and you keep beating on their face like that, of course they're not going to get up. But if you knock them down, maybe do a count, It would be, yeah, like boxing. Yeah, that would be nice. T just said people don't like facts. That's all we dealing over here, man. We don't, we don't go off of emotion and feelings, But yeah, man, we've been on here for a minute, so let me go get something to eat. See, about end of another weekend here. Close this thing out here. But yeah, man, like I said, we had some good talk. We had a good conversation up in here. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat once again. I will be back on whenever I can. I'm busy this week coming. Maybe I'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, man, I'm about to bounce. I'm hungry. So make sure y'all subscribe, hit a like. Combo Breaker 99.